I don't know the definitions of things.
All right. Now you're laughing.
Welcome to the 28th episode of the High Vibe Guys. You got your boy, the leader, the quarterback, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, back here. I took Oz's intro today for myself. You got your boy Bull sitting back here, sipping on.
You don't watch Archer by any chance, do you?
Not recently. Not over the past few years.
There's just a great one. Like, you read Muhammad all over the damn place. That's who you are.
Yes. Dave, way to ruin my sweet intro. That's never happening again. I get flamed when I give myself a little love. You got to the right of me, Asa Bay. Are you on live? You on live?
I'm trying to get the thing working.
Okay. Asa Bay turned his hat backwards. The conversation was so good before he had to turn that hat backwards.
Hey.
And then we got Akil over there, hands on his hips with a new set of beads. Way to go. All right.
Hi, friends.
Oh, wow. With the Mickey Mouse voice.
And then got the flames on.
You got the best engineer in all of
the
shipping freight place. See, I did
best engineer in 30 square feet.
In 30 square feet. Yeah. The shipping in let's see, on cast at the moment.
The definition of backhanded compliment.
Dave,
we used to joke all the time that we were the best IT show on Monday nights between 9 and 11 p.m. And we had a whole routine that we would go there.
Yes.
Man,
in Midtown Detroit.
Right. This dude is international with his podcast, though. We trying to get like him.
Over 4 million viewers, guys.
Oh, God.
Sheesh. That view into the Detroit podcast.
If you love Dave, Cash App Dave if you want his viewers. $1. Dave, I don't know what his Cash App is, but I'm sure it's some. And each dollar that you send him, 25% of that will go to the High Vibe Guys. This is for we trying to set up sponsorship for ourselves, so we starting to work on it with Dave first. Welcome to the 28th episode of High Vibe Guys. We're gonna kick this one off by talking about just something that I saw on Facebook. Well, actually, I saw it initially on the internet. I saw that disheveled picture of Bill Cosby. There's a couple things about it bothered me. I Googled his son after I saw this picture of Bill Cosby, right? And Google has like when you Google certain things, it's like a really big topic. Like before you even go to like a search of the first link, it's gonna have information about it. You know what I mean? It said the disgraced actor Bill Cosby. That was Google's description of Bill Cosby. Now that shit right there was like, all right, that's kind of like.
No, I would probably challenge that. I don't believe that would not have been Google's definition. That might have been.
But it's so you know how like words. So I was looking for his son because remember his son got murdered, right? And his only son was murdered in the 90s. So I looked up Bill Cosby's son.
So the first thing this is why the first thing that pops is the Wikipedia entry, and that's how.
It still should be monitored, man, because at the end of the day, that's the first thing that comes up when his information comes up, and I guarantee you that other people who have committed crimes and done things don't have a similar thing pop up like that. And on top of that, too, for Wikipedia to even have that as their description of Bill Cosby shows a lot of biased. And I have an issue with that. You know what I mean? Now, with that.
Well, I mean, equal opportunity. Same thing happens when you Google, say, Jeffrey Epstein was an American financier and convicted sex offender.
So let me ask you this. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a 10-year run of maybe one of the most influential television shows of all time?
Oh, and he was America's Dad.
America's Dad. So it's like, I guess, yeah, Epstein, that's all I know him for. I don't know of him as a influence. Like you said, I don't want to say influence because you
No, but true. I mean, and I think that's the point is nobody knew who the hell this guy was until everything broke.
Because that's all he is. That's all he is known for. Bill Cosby is way bigger than the things that he's in jail for, but he needs to be held accountable for his actions. So I'm not saying that he shouldn't be held accountable. I'm just saying that was somebody's bias slipped in and said, you know what? Let's overlook this man's crazy fucking career, his crazy influence on Black America, and let's just basically boil it down to him doing some shit that we don't like in the past 10 years that he's being held accountable for. That's to me, that's narrow-minded and disrespectful. You got to look at the whole situation. He's in jail. He's serving his time. Ain't no need to keep shitting on him. So, Dave, you over there thinking. Them wheels are spinning.
So, okay, how do you feel about, say, R. Kelly?
Shit. So, all right, so let's be...
Let that nigga burn in hell.
Agreed.
I
have... But the thing is, though, if somebody play an R. Kelly track, it's hard to not. They put on the Chocolate Factory right now.
People's shoulders gonna start moving.
If somebody put on the remix ignition right now. It's hard to not start gigging to it. But so,
Dude, I still have all of Cosby's albums from when I was a kid. Dude, I owned them all.
So again, I guess maybe if it was a more, I guess I just felt like the like initial sentence or two felt like it was phrasing. It kind of characterized who he was as a person. But I do get what your point is though, because I same thing. I can't stand R. Kelly. He peed on a child, and he tried to justify it.
More than one.
More than one. He peed on a classroom of children. So who knows?
And married Aaliyah when she was 13.
So, but I do get what you're saying. I respect your opinion on that because I get where you're coming from. So I guess my thoughts.
But that's a deep issue because I mean that's the whole. Can you separate the art from the artist? And that's
people can when they want to. It's a pick and choose type thing. You know what I mean? I think it definitely comes to like how much do I like this person personally? You know what I mean? Because that's that's what. Because in this world we live in,
current president. I'm
that's
sorry, I had to get that out. It was a cough. It was bad.
We just talked about the whole like grab them by the pussies and how like people try to like write that off. You know, it's like it's hard to write off grab them by the pussy. It's hard to. And that, ladies, I'm sorry, that ain't what that's what the person 45 said, not me.
Well, that's why. Who was it? Chris Rock that had the whole conversation about 80s rap versus like 90s rap and on, where he was like, "Look, he's like, I can defend Public Enemy. I can defend You Must Learn. I can defend KRS-One. I can't defend Move, bitch, get out the way." Like he's like, it used to have a message. It used to have a meaning. It used to have a thing. So it's hard.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask the High Vibe guys, bring them into this conversation. How do y'all feel about Bill Cosby representation, the whole jail thing? He's gonna be 92 when he's released or something like that from prison. He's gonna do a hot 10 years. And just to get some clarification on the whole thing, so Bill Cosby did not go to jail for all the ladies who said something. He had an incident happen in 2004 where he was accused of, I believe, drugging a lady. And so I wound up going down this rabbit hole. I saw the picture. I said, why is he still in jail if people got released for COVID? He's 82. Why didn't he get out because his crime was listed as a violent crime, and violent criminals didn't get released from prison.
Yep.
So I was like, damn. But I was like, I guess if you drug somebody, it could go all types of ways, right? You know what I mean? Like that's really.
Was he convicted of rape?
So, and I speak from experience when I say this. So if you roofie someone, because I think I might have told you guys this story once. I got roofied.
Yeah.
That person was charged with multiple counts of assault.
That makes sense.
And in addition to
Cause
all of the
bodily
felony
harm.
counts of what the shit they found when they went back to his apartment, but it is classified as assault.
That makes sense. You causing bodily harm.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
intentionally.
Well, because you don't know, like, dude, especially like because when like I want to go to the ER, and there were ketamine and Rohypnol in my system. You don't know what ketamine and Rohypnol are gonna like. You can kill somebody if the dose is too high or if they have a bad reaction to it or whatever, or hell they don't fall over at the bar and they go walking out in traffic and get hit by a car. It's that and that's why it's classified as assault.
Mm-hmm.
It was classified as indecent assault. That's what he got convicted of.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd like to know what decent assault is. Is that like two old British guys going, "How about you?"
Man,
You
slapping
walk
each
up-
other in the face with a glove.
you walk up to somebody, put them in the sleeper hole, and whisper in their ear, "You're going to sleep now."
Night. Dave, do you have an iPhone charger down there?
You know what? There used to be a cable here.
Oh, sweet. Never mind. Kill's better than you. All right, so my High Vibe guys, how do y'all feel about this? Because so getting all the way back to it, my dog Dallas McCreed, who has BMO basketball for young boys in high school, it's a good thing, bro. It's an excellent thing. I can't remember what BMO stands for, but he got Africa on the jersey, so I'm definitely with it. And Dallas McCreed is a really well-read, intelligent teacher in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball camp, all about the community. Reminds me of myself, except smarter. But he made this comment where he said something like along the lines of like Cardi B admitted to like raping, and Cardi B admitted to like doing a bunch of different things to people, and then like Bill Cosby is like basically like demonized in the public. I ain't saying your words correctly. Also, the Alice don't get me like that tough because one of our friends definitely listens. And I was thinking like I broke down the whole case in my like response. Like it's hard for me, dog. This is hard. Like I do feel like on one end of things, Bill Cosby is definitely he has a lot more attention brought to him, and it's like maybe an unfair amount of attention brought to him. But I also have a mother and say I don't care when you roofied her. If I catch your ass and you roofie my mother, unless you done went back to apologize, I'm putting my hands on you. I don't care if it was 100 years ago. If you roofie my mother,
Oh, it's a wrap.
it don't matter. And that was like it was 30 years ago. I don't care when it come to light. If you ain't apologizing to me, I got a problem with it. And I do respect Bill Clinton's legacy as an actor, but it ain't got nothing to do with his personal actions towards women.
Bill Cosby?
But
Yeah.
You said Bill Clinton. I was like, wait, what?
Clinton, Cosby, kind of the same guy.
I did not have sexual relations.
Man.
So that was where my thought process was coming from, and I want my brothers to chime in with me on
So
this one.
Akil, I just want to know what your feedback is. But before that, 20 minutes later. So
Ain't that what we talked about in the car?
We'll edit it out though.
Right. So the thing is, from my perspective, I'm trying to look at the big picture, the behind the scenes picture, and I'm thinking of the influence that man had and has on many folks, their psychology, like the imagery of what it looks like to be, a righteous man at home, taking care of your family, good job, blah, 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 doing your job as a humanitarian or whatever. Now, the whole, like, torturing him and shitting on his name or whatever, to me, I'm looking at, like, why would they be, doing these things if they don't do that to everybody else? I'm thinking that they're trying to like undo the upheld, good picture that they have in people's mind, because it's a subconscious thing, just like movies and stuff. They don't care about no dang on, just the money. They have agendas. They're gonna put this scene right behind the emotional scene, so it has this impact on the people. They're gonna put these movies out back to back to back, talking about drugs and superpowers on 10 different Netflix shows right before some drug gets entered into society or something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some type of agenda behind it. So I'm thinking that's what it is. They want us to disassociate him with that, upstanding subconscious resonance that we have for him, and replace that with whatever, If they take him out that seat, who else is there to, have that, position or whatever that we can look up to?
America's dad. Think of that. That's powerful.
I guess so. I will respond to that by saying, do you feel like he did this to himself? Then my mom's told me one thing. She said, "You a black man in America. You need to be conscious of that. You got to move different. You got to." My mom said,
your mom is right in a lot of aspects.
So let's say that this is saying he is guilty, not saying that you're condemning him or saying he is. We know what we can and can't do. It's just like when the cop pulled me over. I get when black people have spaz out sometimes. But I also am of my own discernment to say, if I want to get out of this in a very productive fashion, let me go about it the way I know I need to go about it. So did he not? He already know what he's fighting against, and then because Bill Cosby is of the utmost elite in this country. Mm-hmm. So did he get dick? Man, shit, Marvel band people say shit. Don't get caught up with doing what the colonizers doing.
So my response to that is, one, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened.
Well, we're just going from the perspective of if it were true type shit.
So before I respond to that, I don't know if it did happen because it's a whole bunch of BS going on. But if it did happen, however, on one end, yes, we got this principle called Ma'at that deals with justice and, justifying things in the universe, restoring balance. So on one end, cool, let the man pay his dues or compensate for whatever he did to another individual. But on the flip side, we have to be even killed. We have to be balanced when it comes to our judgment for people, because you got people who do thousands of things every year, every month. And because they, you know, in cahoots with so-and-so or they look a certain way, they don't get touched. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about killing, stealing, raping, parasitic activity, whatever. Like, companies are we got $1 billion companies that get money from decimating whole cities and groups of people.
Facts.
Their health, their life. Look, Margaret Sanger, bro. This, like, Planned Parenthood is like a cool thing. It's accepted when the agenda she said out of her own mouth at Ku Klux Klan rallies. Let me be specific. Like, she didn't just say it on the news. She said it at specific places. Like, yeah, I'm going to deem who's worthy of living and having a baby, et cetera, et cetera. And, like, this is, and we still practice these things today. We live in a society where Hillary Clinton will go in front of the world and say, yes, I admire Margaret Sanger and think she's amazing and her ideals. Like, come, bro, what the fuck, bro?
What you said last episode, though, that this pressure is helping us to be our best, right?
Yeah.
Pressure creates diamonds. So with that pressure, just be more pressure on us to help us be our best, knowing that we live in an unjust and unfair society and knowing that we have to maneuver different, that we have to be above reproach at times and things of that nature, because we understand that we're playing from a different perspective. We're playing from a different angle that requires more of us. So I mean, like, I'm really playing devil's advocate because I don't think the amount of backlash he received is proportionate to the crimes and to the amount of things that go into where people aren't really held to the same standard. I'm more playing devil's advocate, and it's just more of a thought process for us because we know this. We know who we are in the society, so therefore we know that we have to maneuver different. But I also think that it's possible for us to get, and we talked about this too, conditioning, to get caught up with the colonizers' move sometimes, right? To be in that vein where I'm making all these millions and I'm seeing all this go on. I'm finna enjoy my life too. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Michael Jordan.
That's a lot of it. It's Kanye West, you know what I mean? Motherfucking done lost his goddamn mind, you know what I mean? So
What does he do at the expense of other people though? Because I'm talking about Jordan, like owning stock in prisons and stuff.
Oh yeah. I would say Kanye's influence is
Reckless.
It's reckless. It ain't Jordan influence, but it's almost worse in a sense because Jordan don't be speaking politically. At least he shut his trap. You know what I mean? Kanye just jump off the porch and be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and endorse a ridiculous motherfucker, and then let me endorse him in a ridiculous way. Not no real agenda behind it. You know, did y'all see that interview where he was with his dad, or he's like, me and my dad were talking. He was in the White House. He's like, yeah, me and my dad were talking about the future. We were talking about like airplanes on top of buildings, and then like buildings on top of airplanes.
Who is
like,
this?
Kanye like is in Trump's office, just like having this conversation with him, and Trump is looking at him like, all right, 2 more minutes. All right, 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm not gonna make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I have a question for you, and again, just to kind of play devil's advocate, based upon the foundation of your Bill Cosby argument, your assumption is that Bill Cosby was America's dad that had a dark side. How do you know he wasn't the dark side that played a nice role of America's dad?
Facts.
To put on a good face.
Yeah.
Dude, Jeffrey Dahmer didn't eat everybody he met. Ted Bundy didn't kill everybody he knew. And you know, they both had friends that thought they were great guys.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, like I said, the founding supposition that he was a great guy, to us, I don't know the man. I wasn't hanging out with him in Vegas in the 60s. I don't know what he did.
I won't even disagree with you because in the early 2000s.
Did we just have a bestie moment?
Yeah. Okay. Once you guys do the go Tinks and they combine.
Right, fusion.
Do a fusion dance. Touch
Super Saiyan.
Touch tips. Yes. These guys just touch tips. Pause. And I agree. Like when Bill Cosby came out in the early 2000s, I talked about this on my favorite book episode when Michael Eric Dyson wrote "Is the Black Middle Class Correct?" Is Black Middle Class correct, or did Bill Cosby lose his mind? So he talked about like when Bill Cosby was shitting on black people. You know what I mean? It's like, and Jaquisha, and with all the babies and welfare.
And to pull your drawers up and you're walking around with them and putting my dick where it doesn't belong.
So like, I'm not like the Bill. I won't wear like a Bill Cosby like shirt or some shit around. You know, like I ain't doing that. But I do know he's been a proponent and defended the other black community, and he's tried to impact it. I'm not saying he's the great guy, but I'm saying he was trying to push and trying to uplift, and then trying to uplift skirts too. But he was trying, you know what I mean? And
well, I think that's part of the issue. And there's a blog on our site that I wrote probably 4 or 5 years ago now, specifically because of a friend of ours, called Fallen Angel. And once you put yourself out there as a moral bastion, as a light post, as the good, people are going to gun for you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're white, because this was a white friend of ours who was Captain Charity. He was Mr. This, he was Mr. That. And then guess what? Someone set him up and got him trapped, buying coke behind a bar in Auburn Hills, and the cops it was a sting sitting there right there waiting for him.
How much did you buy?
Not a lot, enough to get him 2 years.
Damn.
And it took him down. And now all those charities that look to him have to back off and erase all of his crap. All the stuff that, he did for this group, now they got to find somebody else to do it for him and back off erase his name from everywhere. And to me, that's the issue. Like I always was like, oh, well, what about Tim Tebow? Dude, Tim Tebow was so far out there, I just assumed that in his private life, he likes to wear thigh highs and be called Janice. Like that's just life. Like when you put, like, how many times, dude, who was it? Falwell. That whole thing because in quarantine, that was 8 years ago, not just a month ago. Falwell likes to watch the pool boy bang his wife. But he's the moral bastion of the religious super conservative right? Really? Wow. That's who we are? So, I mean, so like I said, once you put yourself out there and you make yourself that target, you need to, more than anything else, you need to understand you are making yourself that target. Yeah. Because nobody hates anybody more than someone pretending to be better than you.
Damn, Bill Cosby. Damn you. This ain't what the show about either. It's 2 shows in a row. We ain't get to the topic yet. All right,
it's all good. We can segue.
Well, yeah, Dave, that was a good segue. That was a good cap on this. But it do kind of go. This whole conversation about Bill speaks to what the show was going to be about. Was
the opposite.
The opposite.
The opposite spectrum.
Why don't you introduce this topic, Akil? Because I feel like I'm not going to say it accurately, and I feel like you would do better at this one.
Oh man, this show is in honor of our better halves as men. The divine feminine. Hey, chill out, Asa. Like I can't see you.
Just eat my lasagna.
But yeah, this is dedicated to the divine feminine, that beautiful energy that balances our yin. You know what I'm saying? So, gives us our a lot of our motivation.
So I guess a question for you guys is, how do you feel like we got to the point to where certain men don't appreciate or value or respect that divine feminine energy, and you get a person like Bill Cosby, who was like America's dad in this light over here, and potentially, because I can't say that he did it per se, but potentially slipping roofies in ladies' drinks and taking advantage of them. Like, how do we get to the point to where that level of disrespect is tolerated amongst our elite black men?
I think it all started with the patriarchal influence in our community, in the world, where they literally wiped out the feminine energy from any and all religious text. Mm-hmm. Like, any woman in any religious text is like a whore, or you know what I'm saying, Jezebel, or.
Did you hear? Just because this fits right, did you hear the speech that Trump gave 2 days ago? I swear it might as well have been on the set of Mad Men, where he literally said, "I'm talking to you, suburban housewives. I'm trying to get your kids back in school and your husbands back to work, so you can have a safe home."
That's crazy.
My female friends lost their shit, and rightfully so. And I think the other part of this that you're thinking of is in those situations, like, where are, like, the Cosby situation, the Jeffrey Epstein situation, the Harvey Weinstein, whatever. Where's your friend? Where's the guy that's, because you know there are guys around you. Where's the guy around you going,
But I think that speaks to like the level that it's accepted at up top. You know, like that thought process is a very accepted. Like, oh yeah, he's spitting, he's talking facts and accurately, and that's how you talk about women, and that's how you treat them. Roofie them up, go get them to the bar, take advantage of them. We're rich, we do this. You know what I mean? Like that's the thought process. I think
you're invulnerable.
You're invulnerable. There we go. Where did this invulnerability come from men? Like, how does that? We don't exist without the other half. You know, like so. They got they holding all the power. And this is really one of the things where I'm clearly clueless on. I don't know the history of how the patriarchal society we live in kind of really came to be. How men kind of got to dominating the society we live in.
Great question, because I don't know either. We got two pretty smart dudes in the room.
So this sounds like
types with Dave and Asa, but I don't. For sure, I can't pinpoint a time period.
You already touched on it. It starts with religion,
and that's what I would assume.
And it's it's really weird when you look back to when women held a position of power and when they were more revered. It was more about the village, because it was, one woman might want one guy to be the father of her children, but needs another guy to be the protector. And it's because she's in a very vulnerable, weak state for those, especially the later months of pregnancy and that kind of stuff. But you look at religion that took all that away. You look at, keep it simple, the Constitution. The United States was founded in principle by rich, landowning white guys. Who are they looking out for? Rich, landowning white guys. It used to be like, this is part of that special that I was talking about, actually. So originally it was, you just had to be rich and landowning in order to vote. And then they figured out that there were some black women that had been, or white women that had been left money by their husbands or whoever. And so, nope, strip that away. Because it was rich, landowning white men. That's who they wanted voting. This has always been, and it's funny when you think about it, we are a super matriarchal supported society, but we are a patriarchal ruled society.
Yep. All the way down to the words we use.
Because who's the center of who's taking all the time off now and dealing with all the shit with the kids that they're not in school? Mom.
Yeah.
And I was 9 times out of 10, because there are those exceptions where the dad is taking the step back, and that's great. But sweeping generalizations, because this is the internet, this is what we do. It's women. Those are the ones who are taking one for the team. Yep. So without women, we don't have a society. But it's, to your point, even the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the whoever of the world. Hey, you can go as high as we let you, because Michael Jordan wasn't owning the team. Kobe Bryant wasn't owning the team. So, I mean,
and shit, as much money as Michael Jordan made, imagine how much money that everybody else made around him who was influencing him. Imagine that. And you didn't even have to play basketball.
You probably made a percentage.
Well, look at so everybody's like, oh, they should sell the Detroit Lions. Why would they sell the Detroit Lions? They are profitable from TV contracts before a game is ever played. Yep. They don't care if you don't show up. Yep. They don't care what, I do not pay attention to sports ball, so you pick a player on the team that's wildly successful and overpaid. The Ford family doesn't give a shit about them.
No, that doesn't exist either. There's no wildly successful.
Well, yeah, but even God, look, Calvin Moore. All right, you're unhappy? Go. As much as he meant, I mean, that's that attitude, because you can step up as much as we will let you.
Man, let me get a word from you on this topic. We haven't heard from you
because y'all was going back and forth. Shit.
Well, you was eating lasagna and flossing your teeth and whatnot, bro.
Hey, man, cleanliness is next to God.
Well, Mac Create just did a whole special meal for me for breakfast: lasagna, fried oyster mushrooms, back massage. Hey, bro, some of us are single and gonna be single forever. So,
anywho, I agree with the religious piece. The religion influenced patriarchal societies, but I also think that it had just as much influence from politics, because I don't think we could really separate the two back then, because religions were, as far as we know, many of them, the origin of their success was found in like pushing political agendas, trapping minds or guiding minds or conditioning, like you said before, the minds. But the thing is, one thing that I noticed as far as like history is concerned, whenever somebody goes and dominates a particular group of people, they always flip the script. That's why, like, even in the Bible, like, you see this devil is a serpent or whatever. All types of snakes get a bad connotation. And then when you go back just 1,000 years before that, maybe 2,000 years, on any continent on the planet, people were deifying serpents and dragons and amphibians and all types of stuff. That aquatic type of vibe, giving them access to the other side through the water principle.
Interesting.
Right? Now then we fast forward and we see the women, subconsciously looked at as like lesser than like even the chessboard. You know what I'm saying? The king is this and that. The queen could do all of that, but she protecting the king. She submissive to the king. That whole type of psychology is only present when you want to take a people and strip them away from their power.
So there's a good etymology thing for you. You know where checkmate comes from?
No.
Shamat. The king is dead.
Yikes.
Okay.
We'll be dropping jewels on this damn show
I
sometimes.
swear, man.
Wow. Yeah. So I want to flip it again then. This time, this is going to go back to you, Akil, as the father, and maybe you too over there, because I believe you got a daughter down there.
I daughter and a son. In fact, my son just had his 11th birthday.
Shout out to him. What's his
Happy
name?
birthday.
Johnny.
Happy birthday,
My
Johnny.
little sneakerhead.
Little sneakerhead 11-year-old. Oh, wow. Bad habit 11.
fly.
Sheesh. So,
You want an etymology? Some etymology? You know what John means? Pineal gland.
Yes.
so let's go to how do you feel as a father raising a daughter in a society, and like what is your thought process on raising multiple daughters at this point? You got three. of them. So like what's that look for you, knowing that this is the society that they gonna have to navigate through? How do you empower them and whatever, blah 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 blah.
Dude, man, only a father of a daughter could relate. Dave can relate.
I got
There's-
a puppy.
Booze can't relate with
Booze
the
cannot
puppy?
relate at all.
No?
At all. And not
As much
even
as he tries.
It's a crazy
He
world.
just can't.
listen.
It's no comparison.
And not even fathers of sons can
Nope.
fully understand.
Damn, Booze.
Fully understand how a father feels about his daughter or daughters. It's the most indescribable feeling of like a mix of protective energy, heightened, not so much fear, but like, I will kill all of y'all. Everybody on the planet. I love y'all, but everybody's gone.
However,
I think that's kids in general, because I had a great conversation with a friend of mine before she had a kid, and I said you do not know the meaning of the phrase unconditional love until you have a kid. Like, you might be with someone and think that that's unconditional love, but until you hold a little human being in your arms and realize that you would throw yourself in front of a bus to keep them from getting a paper cut. And she came back to me like 2 months after she had her kid. She was like, "Hey, do you remember that conversation?" And I was like, "Yep." Like I told you, it's a whole different world.
It's like instantaneously.
I guess
soon as they
this
come
too.
out.
Why I'm gonna stop
6
comparing my
seconds.
dog to like
Good job.
being an actual human being, because there's a chance my dog could get hit by a car, and I'd be like, you know what, you all right.
But no, like, so like
Shake
for
it
real,
off.
like my daughter knows that I have her back no matter what. And I've gone to the mat for her several times. Like, whether like there was a situation, like, cause she's 13, so she's in middle school, so it's a mean girls thing. It's a yada yada, and so it was volleyball tryouts, and one of the other little girls called her fat. My daughter's not fat. She's taller. She's stockier, but she's not. Anyway, so I went and picked her up that day, and I could tell something was wrong with her. And she said, and I said, "Sam," I said, "You know what's wrong? Like, what's going on?" And she tells me this story, and I said, "Okay." I said, "There's a couple different ways you can handle this." I said, because we always have these talks about, she always comes to me for advice about it. I said, "You can either ignore it," and I said, "but the reality is that will probably just egg them on." I said, you can react to it, and that will definitely egg them on. And I said, or there's option 3, which is the dad route. And she was like, well, what's the dad route? I said, I don't really recommend this because this is going a little bit nuclear. I'm like, but the next time that little girl says something to her, you just look her dead in the eye and said, you know what? I can always lose a little weight if I want to, but you will always be an ugly, cold bitch that nobody loves, and walk away.
Gang, gang.
Well, she did that the next day, apparently.
She went Kevin Hart, is what we call that.
And, oh, yeah.
My mama told me to
and
tell you.
Yeah. And I got called in to the vice principal's office, and I sat there, and I let him have his little talk, and I said, are you done now? I said, because here's the reality of this situation. My daughter was dealing with a couple little mean girls, and I taught her how to handle that situation. If you do not handle that situation, I will always have her back. You can do what you think you need to do to her here in school, but here's the fun part, Skippy. I have a little show that I do, and I would love to talk about situations on it, and I've done it before, and I'll do it again, and I will name your name, and I will make you famous, and that's how this is going to go, because that is my daughter.
Damn.
And he's like, well, maybe we do need to reevaluate how we handle social situations. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you do.
Yeah, man.
Dave make me famous, but not in like a Don't do it in a hateful, spiteful way though. Like
I like
make
that
it so I
story.
can like go out the house, and
bro.
stuff.
No, but that's that, and so she does. She knows that I have her back now, and she also knows that if she's wrong, I will tell her that she's wrong. But I mean, and I think that's the important thing. I mean, that's parenting 101. Like your kids have to know that you have their back, but they also have to know where the lines are. Like they know, like both my kids know when it's joke time and when a little bit more bass gets in my voice and playtime is over. They know that line. And sarcasm and teaching them how it's okay to be sarcastic with dad these times, but Papa doesn't play. Like you don't get sarcastic with him. That's not his sense of humor. So yeah.
Well, so let me ask you this then:
I'm gonna have to work on that. Cause my boys be getting hot when I get serious. So when I have some
I'm
children,
the same
I'm
one.
gonna have to practice.
I am too.
Hey, Allie.
How do you prepare? What about the things that you can't prepare them for? What are your concerns that like I can't prepare my child for this?
Man,
Your daughter
that would
particularly.
be that. My oldest,
Yeah, the one because you got one that's about to leave the house, nest.
she may not. She may stay in Michigan and go to college.
Okay. Well, she mean like
Please, God, please. Anyways, that's a typical father thing. She do whatever she want to. She can go off explore the
That
world.
one buster, who she just thinks is dazzling, and then he just like
Man,
he
listen.
knows his game plan the whole time. He just trying to
Listen,
do
bro.
that one thing
I mean,
and crush her.
I'm
heart.
assuming most dads think their daughters are like angels at all times. My 17-year-old is an angel to me. Like, she don't do the boy thing as much as I know. Don't wink at me like that. It's really creepy. But you're talking about my daughter right now, right? But yeah,
I'm
man.
loving
I
on you,
mean,
bro, keeping it a buck with you.
really taking a cue from look at Captain Hypocrite down here on his phone. Look at him. Captain Hypocrite. Always flaming me and Ozzy over there having a full grunting and grumbling. Yeah, so all right.
I just posted.
I'm gonna handle that after this.
I just posted this, but I'll stop. I'll stop the social media part that
All
you
right,
don't
hold
take
on.
care of.
Hold
See
on,
how I just reversed it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Boost.
Well, I tagged you in there too.
I like-
I tagged you in there. That's fine.
I like how you,
Go ahead, keep going, brother.
like how you took that little criticism there. That
Let's
was
go
nice.
back. 17-year-old.
But no, man, I'm living off of our brother, our esteemed brother Asa. I try not to live in fear, and then I don't put that onto the babies.
Okay.
So with, like Dave said, like you as a parent, an active parent, you have to wear a lot of hats. You know what I'm saying? You have to balance being stern with your kids with being open and being a fun parent to me. Like, my parents were pretty fun parents. Like, they allowed us a certain amount of leash to do certain things. And when they felt like, oh, okay, especially me, like all my siblings will tell you, I was the one that took the leash all the way to to the
Well, but
farthest.
that's a kid's job.
Yeah.
A kid's job is to push to find where those boundaries are.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, I'm painting her like the biggest angel in the world. My 17-year-old does not push boundaries, bro. Like, I feel like I was completely blessed having this kid.
Those are almost the ones you got to worry about.
Man, because when she goes away, I'm gonna be there, bro, every weekend. Like, yo, so what are we doing this weekend?
So are you gonna be the type of parent to be like, yo, let's have some drinks together, let's
I actually
Smoke
thought
some-
about that because one of my really close friends that I don't really get to kick it with as much as I used to. What's up, Lisa? She's Italian, like full blood, was born. I forget where she was born. She's gonna kill me. But that's like a actual cultural thing in Europe. Like, you sit down at 12 or 13, she said, with her parents and her grandparents, and they had wine together to introduce her to it, so that when she gets of age, it's not so foreign to her, and that she don't go crazy, blackout. I'm at college, and this is the first time I've ever had alcohol, so I don't know my limit drunk. You know what I'm saying?
So
And something happens to her.
So Italian as well. There's actually a couple reasons why they do that. One is that. I mean, the other is, well, the water's not as good over there. No, true.
Yikes.
And so, I mean, it's not unusual for kids to be drinking wine because it's gone through a purification process.
Nice.
But so I am the drunkle, as I am known in my family. And as every kid, as every niece and nephew has gotten ready to go off to school, they have to spend a weekend at my place.
Nice. Yep.
And I get them tore up until they are throwing up, done. I teach them how to deal with a hangover. I teach them how to avoid, and then we talk about how to, and then we go through. Here's how you avoid that happening. You space your drinks out. You make sure you eat. You make sure this is going on. And like I am their college prep weekend,
Which is necessary
wow.
in my eyes.
Honestly, as a person who wants to be a dad, because I know you're in that space where you want to be pops. This dude
Quit fronting.
has baby fever, which is like, ugh.
This dude actually predicts, like, if I have Luna, my youngest, with me, and be like, just wait until me and Allie have, and they gonna both fly together.
What?
So what is your thought process of, like, if you were to have a little girl, do you have any initial thoughts of things of like, yo, these are the things that I'm definitely gonna be putting in her brain. These are the things that I want to prepare her for. What are your thoughts just around that?
I'm gonna tell her men are the devil incarnated. She's gonna be in the dojo when she's like 4, if not 3, or something like that. I'm gonna take her to the gun range when she like 8, 9, and then I'll work it from there.
Okay.
So that's the thing. You have, like, you can't necessarily prepare them for situations. What I've tried to instill in both of my kids is tools. And, you know, knowing, like, coping mechanisms and knowing how to identify situations and read people and that kind of stuff. Like, that's been my big focus with them. Because that's where I feel like my parents fell down. I actually know what, it was a different world back then, so I won't even say that they fell down. But it is a different world now, and you do have to be much more situationally aware, and you do need to have your head on a swivel these days. And so, you know, that's been my biggest thing, is teaching them how to, like, boys. You know, my daughter's gone through 4 or 5 different situations now where, you know, some little boy has asked her to be his girlfriend and yada, 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 and she's come and we've sat down, we've had these talks, and she's like, Dad, she's like, something just doesn't feel right. And I'm like, then don't do it. I said, the most important thing I can tell you is trust your judgment and trust your gut. Your body and your mind will tell you when something is wrong. I said, like pain. Pain is a natural feedback mechanism to let you know that you are doing something you should not be doing. And so if you have alarm bells going off, walk away. It's that simple.
I love that because two things. The first thing, speaking to like your natural reactions, the bubble guts I just had is telling me that, yo, something that I digested ain't sitting right with me. All right. So that was one part.
How the hell did we get
Natural reaction.
A nice tender
worshiping-
moment with my daughter.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you? We talking about like the divine feminine and
Well, I was about to get to
us being
I said-
fathers
I
of
had
daughters.
I had
Body
two,
is divine feminine.
I said,
I had 2 points. I had two.
Time
I had two.
Hold on, time out. I said you are always on point when you come to balance out somebody coming with like kind of like maybe a little negative energy. Well,
That
like you are
wasn't
the perfect
negative.
God's advocate.
I said
There's
bubble
no advocate for that.
guts. No advocacy.
Talking
no,
about bubble off of that.
Hey,
They've just laid out a
To
Hallmark
each his
card.
her-
Man, we have
to
these
each her
conversations
own,
every.
man.
It's gonna happen again. They,
Captain Bubble
It'll
Guts
come back
on
around. I swear to God. But what you said was that I really wanted to respond to was we do live in a different world, and I love that. And I told my homegirl too the other day. I'm gonna use the N word. I said, yo, this world will be a lot better when niggas get out the way. You know what I mean? Like when women can do their thing for real, and like I mean that sincerely, man, because women in
Referring to males, right?
yeah,
Okay.
males in general, man, just like when we get out of the way, because I love Roland Martin, but it was this group he was advocating for. It's a group of collectives of sisters who are very open with who can be a part of this group, but they're always trying to advance the collective influence on government. And he was like, what group of brothers are doing this real open-minded? And he had this group of brothers on, and they couldn't name one. And it's so many things. Like the women on this planet are so empowered, or getting to the point to where they're allowed to be so empowered, because it is a different world. You can take your daughter to the dojo. You can tell your daughter to tell somebody, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we live in that time, and that energy and that perspective that women have is needed so bad. And I think that's one of the dopest things about the time we're living in, is that as much bullshit as we see go on, there's a lot of greatness around the corner. You know what I mean? And I guess we might not necessarily live to see it, but I guess it's just knowing that it's a consistent. Should give you an example. Like, no, I won't do that anyway. But just to say that I feel like women are getting to that point to where like that balance is about to flip. You know what I mean? At some point, like you was just saying, and that they will bring usher in, I should say, a new period. I can't say it'll be perfect because perfection doesn't exist. You know what I mean? But
It'll be a lot more appropriate and in alignment.
and it'll probably be more enjoyable across the board.
You gonna have some weak men fighting that to the death, boy.
Well, not only that, so I mean
Busters.
that's the big fear with the Supreme Court appointee that just got pushed through. Is so people don't even really understand the context of Amy Coney Barrett, where it wasn't that long ago. I believe it was like less than 20 years ago, where a member of the Supreme Court stated that they saw nothing wrong with beating the hell out of somebody just because they were gay, or treating somebody wrong just because they were female. That person is on the Supreme Court. That person is who she describes as her mentor.
Wow.
And so you now have a supremely, pardon the pun, conservatively swung judiciary that is specifically looking to target Roe Wade. Like, people didn't die because of abortion. Like, Roe Wade wasn't to stop. That just meant people stopped dying from abortions when it made it legal. And you look at in the attacks on the ACA and the attacks on the healthcare that are inevitably coming now. That's the biggest concern, is that women have fought this fight for so long, and these last 4 years have rolled them back so hard. That's why, like, my female friends that are the loudest, that are the most active, that are the most engaged, are spending the most time in goddamn tears lately, that are the most broken, that are the most upset about where this year in particular has gone.
Wow,
Yep.
Dave. Way to really put on a sour note for me, man.
There ain't no sour note, man.
I'm over here broken up now. I'm
Fuck
like,
that,
sheesh.
bro.
I was loving everything I was saying, and Dave popped in
Nah,
and just ruined my little day here.
That's beautiful awareness brought to
Yeah,
people to
that's
let
really good.
everybody know that the mission is still incomplete, man. Like, how, again, speaking as a father of 3 girls who wants to see them grow into the greatest humans, goddesses that they can be. It's just ridiculous seeing some of the hurdles that women have to go through, bro. That the fact that they still have to deal with lower wages, like ridiculously lower wages, bro. Like in the same sectors, and how do you explain certain jobs having like a $30,000-$40,000 a year difference?
So and that's
just
real.
because of the gender.
I think it's white women on average make 72 cents on the dollar currently. Black women are down at 67.
Yep.
Wow.
So just think of that, man.
How much money am I making, Dave? How much money are we making?
I mean, roughly 28 to 33% more than that.
Wow. Wow.
I think
And for the, I'm sorry, for the viewers, we're supposed to have a lady on the show today, but she ain't show up.
That's where the divine feminine.
Trust me, it's gonna happen. I'll take it away.
she come in next week. We lit.
We okay.
Or whenever we record again. Yeah, for sure. But I was gonna say, we were talking about the pineal gland and stuff just for a snippet earlier this show or the last show or something like that. But keep in mind that women are naturally more intuitive, right, and able to perceive things beyond the physical world, even though they have the most advanced physical body. And then look at how the food industry, the pharmaceutical companies, etc., all play roles consciously in destroying the body and limiting and subduing our ability to tap into those vibes. You know what I'm saying? The average person can't even put their finger on what intuition is. Like, we might talk about it in a book and say, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. The average person is so effed up from food and from video games and TV or whatever they into. They can't even really close their eyes and meditate. They got a hard time doing that for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm bringing that up to say, because women are not in a position right now because of the food, because of the content in their mind, because of what they're taught, because of how they're conditioned, they can't really be themselves. But once they start to rectify those internal physical problems and emotional and mental problems, it's a wrap for anybody who doesn't want to see what they want to do or doesn't want to see them take themselves to higher heights, because they'll be able to do it from the inside out, especially when they operate in groups, you know? So I just want to throw that out there. If you a lady, if you a woman, you going through it, that's the move right there. Clean them insides out, get your mental peace, your mental health together, and harmonize with some like minds.
As you were speaking, it kind of reminded me, at least at the end piece, like about like women in hip hop, how like in the 80s, early, like they had to be a man. You know what I mean? Had to rap like a man. That the brat
Lil' Kim
looked like a man. Lil' Kim is probably
No,
one of the
Lil'
ones
Kim
who
came
changed
later.
You know,
You're thinking like, God, like Latifah.
You talking Queen
Latifah,
Latifah, MC Light.
like they like hard as a rock. You know.
Yep.
Like, you know, like the women had to basically be a man in rap for a long time in order to like be respected. They couldn't be a woman and rap. Like, you can't wear a dress and rap.
Nope.
That ain't how this go. You can't even have feminine energy. You got to have the same masculine energy in order to be a part of this collective.
Lil' Kim definitely have masculine energy. Y'all coming at her
But she,
defense.
no.
I see what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying.
Had-
but she still came through talking that just in the physical body.
But
of
I would
a woman.
say that's more. She's more of a transition, though, bro. Like she's
That's cool.
You know,
That's
like
cool.
she,
So we both right.
yeah, we're both right.
Agree
I would say
to
like
agree.
she's a part of the evolution of what's going on. And I guess like it's kind of what you're saying too. Like I was speaking just more to them like not being able to be in a body though at all. Like, you know, or like embrace their feminine body.
Like Erykah Badu.
Like Erykah Badu's a great one. You know what I mean? She embraced the hell out of that shit. You know what I mean?
To the point where she has vagina-scented incense.
Which I
That
gotta
sell
get.
out. That shit is crazy.
I gotta get some.
I've never tried it.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you
I'm going to try.
You got a house lit up.
When somebody come to my house and like, what's that smell?
Like, is there a quality control position? Like, is that someone's job?
Yeah.
Gotta make sure that it's leveled up. Like, your pH level off.
That was one of these. I had to throw it in there one time to show.
Get off Instructor Vaughn, bro. What's wrong with you?
That would be a dope guess.
I can't wait till we go to the physical dojo.
And if I do that lab
Pop your
day, just
head
so
off.
you know, we got so we're part of Kempo, which is a martial arts practice. It's based out. We have a dojo based out of the D, and we got an instructor named Instructor Vaughn, who's also a principal and a doctor, and he's also the head instructor for our martial arts academy, our dojo, and he has a very distinct laugh where he sounds like a villain inside like an anime, or even better, a freaking like martial arts flip, and it's something like It's like very forced. It feels like somebody's punching him in the chest each time he chuckles. Which he probably has had somebody punch him in the chest as he's laughing to like train. That's just how he gets down. But shout out to Instructor
Hit me in the
Vaughn.
throat harder.
Yeah.
He bench press like his reps be like 10,000.
Really?
Like people's training, his training be like Goku off the
I'm sure.
animes, bro.
I'm sure.
He be on tip.
Shout out to
super sure.
the 36 Chambers Martial Arts Academy.
Burr.
Kimpo,
Yeah,
no
Instructor
S on the
North
end.
Leg, Instructor
No,
Ghost, Instructor Cool, Instructor Cedric, Instructor Vaughn,
No S on the end of Chambers.
Chamber,
36th chamber.
36th Chamber.
No.
How about
no,
this?
going
Y'all
to
know I can't talk or read, so it's like, how about we not come back to this bullshit today, all right? Shit.
Now you can start over with the instructor.
Damn. Way to point out my literacy on the air again. But
Yeah.
shout out
Instructor
to
Vaughn, Instructor Ghost, Instructor
Cedric.
Cedric.
Instructor
Aku.
Aku.
A cool. How your beard
North
is so
Leg.
full. A cool got a
Instructor
Rick
Keith.
Ross beard like in 3 days.
Hey,
next
man.
time I see
Listen,
him,
bro.
next time I go to the dojo, I'm gonna go like I'm gonna fake like I'm going for a Palm Hill. I'm gonna just pull his beard to see what's real. Hey, grow this that fat. Oh yeah, he did. All right,
Yeah, you
my
did.
bad, brother.
And now I'm sidekicked into the wall.
I'll do that. I'll do that for my appreciation because I was about to go into like I really like this place. But I think I should say that. But man, this show is touching on a lot of things. I knew it was gonna be a good show, man. I really knew it because I feel like one thing I wanted to say was like we are men raised by women. You know what I mean? And like strong women, strong black women who I feel like have had obstacles, who I feel like have had to be innovative with how they raised us in a society that does things to push us down. You know what I mean? So when we talked about this show, that's what I really thought about. That's what I thought about the first time. It's like, damn, I can't wait till we get all our moms on the show. You know what I mean? Because like I think our moms will fly. You know what I mean? I think we will all go to bat that our moms to fly us in the room. You know what I mean? And like it ain't nothing wrong with it though.
Let's not forget to
Sure.
bring up that episode where Boo said, "My mom is number one,
Yep.
and you guys' mom is
Yep.
number 2 and 3."
Yep.
I'ma just make
We
sure.
could only get one A.
Can we get a clip?
Like they had to share one A.
I think we should pull up the clip and just let it play.
Play it right beforehand.
Hey.
Oh, Boo, say it to Oz's mama's face.
Mama.
What's crazy is
She
the
probably
feminine,
a green belt too.
bro. The dopest thing about that though is that that divine feminine energy is so amazing that our moms would understand completely where he coming from, and
Of
that
course.
would be cool.
And my mom would be like, all right, that's all right, I'll be 3. You know,
Right.
it was like,
Man.
God damn it, mama, that ain't what I was trying to. I was about to show you the bear claw. What's House of Wood come over here and say you was 2? But that's why I knew this was gonna be a good show, just because I was like, man, shit, we love. I think we were fortunate to be raised in that sense, man, because I think we had that extra layer of appreciation, and it is rare, man. Like shit, to have who we have, and to be brothers, and then to also have unique situations, and to have mothers who kind of were our main parental figure, or very much of that for a lot of our life. I know you had your father for a lot of his life too, but I knew this was gonna be great.
Were y'all breastfed too?
No, my mama definitely didn't breastfeed. She grew up. She was my mother. Listen,
You weren't breastfed? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
it do explain a lot. That's why we
Ozzy
are
flexing again.
No, because I'm about to flex on them. That's why we're over 6 feet. And Oh, God.
Damn.
Have you ever came close to dunking? I haven't either, but
Oh wow.
I
Actually,
slimmed down.
Wow.
I could pull up a picture on my phone right now on my Instagram.
Oh,
but
wow.
it's cool.
All right.
I ain't about to do you like that on the air.
Different topic then.
Yeah, switch it
Have
up.
you ever had to wear jeans with a 30?
Yeah, stop. Just stop.
Just
Just stop. Just stop.
You over here reaching and shit.
I'm reaching like a motherfucker.
Just stop, bro.
It's all good.
Trying to go deep.
I used to beat up all my tall friends when I was little. I had that Napoleon complex bad, and then it just deleted as soon as I understood what the Napoleon complex was.
Man.
I got to like maybe latter years of high school, like, oh, yep, let me not be like that.
I'm not gonna go into the detail, but Napoleon complex is so like associated with a person in my mind now that I hate even thinking about that complex. I ain't going in. I don't got to say anything
I
for
already
Kill to
know what
know.
you're talking about.
I'm not saying no more on the air either, because I got to be careful. Like you said,
Yep.
you used to beat people up when you was little. This person beats people up now. And so yeah.
Yep.
But shit, I think we gonna wrap this, boy. If y'all cool with that.
Nice little bow.
No, I tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tell you. We can't say that on the air.
I'm about to say I got you with the.
Nah. Sometimes you just rather maneuver, avoid the blow. You know what I mean?
All right.
I'm using that in class on Saturday is where I use the virtual dojo. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna do quick appreciations and be about this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go first with appreciations.
Boom.
So I was gonna appreciate 36 Chamber martial arts. Why you say? Man, I was sick a couple of weeks ago, and Instructor North Leg hit me up because we have weekly assignments that we have to record and turn in. Instructor North Leg at like 11 o'clock was like, "Where's your assignment at?" He's trying to sound like him. What's your assignment, Boost? Take some of that bass out. That's how he sounds. Like he might kill you, or he might be able to break bread or some shit. I'm like, yo, I'm really sick. I'm dying. Can't do it. But please try to get it in when possible. All right. It's like, oh, shit. I just said I'm dying. But it's more of like they are on you to make you your best. And you don't get that a lot as an adult. You know what I mean? Especially from people you don't know who are genuine about it, who don't want something from you. Mm-hmm. Like, it's $50 a month for like the top tier advanced training. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Instructor Northland said something like, why would you get out of this? And like, we like talk about your life. We talk about how to make you a better person. Mm-hmm. We give you defense, spirituality, metaphysics. And it's like, it's 50 freaking bucks a month. Mm-hmm. You know, shit. That's some of y'all spend it on water in 2 days, let alone, you know what I mean? Like,
literally.
And the amount of like connection they develop with you, the amount of like, man, we spend hours every week just talking about ourselves in class and each other and building and bonding. And on all levels, man, it's just something I felt like it just added to my life. 2020 for me was a good year. And Kempo martial arts, 36 Chamber in particular, only was a big ass cherry on top. It was multiple big ass cherries on top. So thank you, instructors. Thank you, peers. Thank you, Akil. Thank you, Asa, for introducing me and being my brothers in Kempo and at the 36 Chamber Dojo in Hamtramck. Been a beautiful experience, and I'm just greatly appreciative to be a part of it. So big shout out to y'all.
Teamwork.
Gang.
Akil.
You want me to go next?
Yep. So I'm still thinking.
Oh, man.
I'm so ungrateful. Pick somebody I'm grateful for.
Man. So much to be grateful for, and I don't have nothing on the tip of my tongue, bro. I guess I'm just grateful for this beautiful thing called life, bro, and growth and experience and being able to bump your head and, you know what I'm saying, if you're a person that's in tune and bumping your head means a lesson and not just, I'm going to try this again, but on the other side of my head. Like, you know, this is a beautiful life we live in, even through all the COVID, you know, the pandemic and the strife that we go through on a regular basis. Like, where else would you rather be? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thoroughly love this suit that I'm in. I understand, you know, I'm a soul with a body, but I thoroughly love myself. And at 41, I probably couldn't have said that so succinctly and with such, you know what I'm saying, so much behind it 10 years ago. So.
Damn, I almost cried.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead and bust it out. But yeah, man, this real stuff, bro. Shut up, fool. If you look at my phone at my Google search, you'll come across, I forget what the name of the disease is, but there was, that's not it. There's a disease when you are born with
hemorrhoids.
Chill out. where you are born with. And when I say it, you're going to feel like a piece of crap for making jokes right now, guys. There's Instructor Vaughn, Dr. Vaughn, where you are born with no limbs. And there was a guy on, I want to say it was Dr. Oz. I came across it on YouTube, and he was on Dr. Oz talking about all the different, you have issues right now. Just let it out. Holding your nose is not going to stop it. Jesus. Good Lord. This is the worst part of an appreciation ever. God. I'm just going to finish it off by juggling 3 balls in the air. Pause. But it was a guy on Dr. Oz, and he was just speaking on how he sees people throwing away just their gifts. Yeah. And he's saying, like, your natural gift to walk. That's a gift. You know what I'm saying? Being born with healthy children. And this dude has such a vigor for life. He attempted suicide at 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? But he has such, I can't even look at you the same way. This fool got tears in his eyes.
It was because how you led up to it.
Yes. Yeah, that was a terrible lead up. But, nah, man, I just appreciate everything, bro. This is a beautiful life. Go ahead, Asa. You're a sensitive bastard, yeah.
I'm very sensitive. I'm too sensitive sometimes. But my appreciation goes out to you, the person listening right now. I just want to thank you for being alive, and I can't wait to either see or hear about you becoming the best possible version of yourself. Because when we all start tapping into that, that's the real puzzle piece right there. When we start adding on this person's best self with that person's best self, do you know what that block looks like? Do you know what that neighborhood looks like? You know what that city looks like? I can't wait for that shit, man. So just thank you for tapping in and for being on point. If you're not on point, I hope you get on point. I hope somebody lights some fire under your ass, or you do it by yourself. And shout out to you.
Wow.
Gang.
All right, y'all. I think we're going to wrap it up for the 28th episode or 7th or 9th.
28.
Hey, man. Even numbers. I got it. So next time, next 30. It's going to be what we landed on, right?
29, 30.
Minus 29, 30. Yeah.
Subtract the 3, add the 4, carry the 7.
So 28th episode of the High Vibe, guys. Appreciate you listening. This felt like it was good energy, good feminine discussion today. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.